so many possible memories for so many families from being made. In fact, it's been 7,671 days since that fateful day. If you take that number of those who perished and add them all up, add up all those days, you get close to 2 million. That's 2 million memories that didn't occur. Memories like that of a newborn child, a first birthday, first day of school, graduation day, first job. A walk down the aisle was something as simple and precious as a walk in the park. September 11th, as we know, it was much more than the destruction of some buildings. It was, more significantly, the destruction of innocence, freedom, life, and especially love. And it's a loss of love that hurts the most. Yet it's the power of love that has kept us together, strong, united, and dedicated to always remember. And along with that comes the pain and the grief. For we know grief is the price of love. As many of you know, the Postcards Memorial, just behind us, has served as a sacred ground, a place of remembrance and reflection, and a place of honor. Our former borough president, Jim Molinaro, was instrumental in this creation. He joins us here tonight. The designer of this Postcards Memorial said this: "The walls are set to view the access that once connected the Staten Island community and the Twin Towers across the harbor. They open towards the water and the sky in elevation, creating a space with senses of privacy and liberation. And each Staten Islander, as we know, is honored with their unique profile silhouette. All look across the harbor as peaceful reminders of the past and hope for the future." For those old enough to remember, there was a tradition or a custom whenever somebody would travel. Wherever you went, you often snooped around a hotel lobby or a local store and searched and bought a postcard. Typically, there would be a photo of the area you were visiting, or a famous attraction, or perhaps even a landmark. The traveler would write a little note to a loved one who, for whatever reason, was not present. But that person was there in spirit. The traveler wanted to share the experience fully, but they knew they could not, so they did the next best thing. They let the person know they loved, how much they were missed, and how much they would reconnect upon their return. In a poignant way, that's what we have here. Only here there's no vacation, and the writer is not returning. Our prayer and our hope is that the writer is at peace with the Almighty, providing all of us with the strength and guidance to stay united and to love one another, be kind to one another, and to appreciate this great land and country of ours. And one last thing about the postcard. If you remember, whenever those postcards from faraway places would arrive in the mailbox, they almost always said, "We wish you were here." To those who perished on 9/11, I think I speak for all of us when I say there isn't a day that goes by that we say, "We wish you were here." It's now my honor to call up our governor, Governor Hochul, to share a few words with us tonight. Governor?
Thank you, Borough President Fasella. I want to thank you for carrying on this wonderful tradition. I've come here every year, 8 years as Lieutenant Governor, my first as Governor, because I come here to draw strength from all of you. Because when I see the resiliency, the strength, the pride of the people of Staten Island, It gives me hope. And I reflected on this as I was coming across the ferry in the last half hour. And as I come across, didn't see the usual skyline because a little bit foggy out there, a little bit rainy. But I also knew there are two enduring symbols of our country and what we stand for that I left behind. One was the Freedom Tower. The other was Lady Liberty. And that's what Staten Islanders have the privilege of looking at every day from this beautiful vantage point. And I'm convinced, because of this proximity to those symbols, that the people of Staten Island have something truly special. You have to wonder why we lost so many from this smaller borough. Over 250 individuals, lives sacrificed on that day, and so many more who succumbed to the cancers and the illnesses related to it. Why do so many people say, yes, I will become a firefighter, I'll become a police officer, I'll put on a uniform and fight abroad to protect the people I love back home? Because there's something here that's special, that strong sense of love of country and patriotism that drew so many to these professions where it's all about selflessness and fighting for our own rights and values and our freedoms, in fact. So I come back here also to look in the eyes of the family members. I can't imagine how hard this is for you to come back year after year and have everything come by, another flashback, a reminder, just when you think the wounds might be starting to heal 2 decades later. But you show up because of that profound sense of duty and, above all, love for the person you lost. Because if it was a spouse, you're reminded there was something attracted to that man or woman that made them the kind of person who would put on a uniform that day or go into work and be out there to help others. Or if it was a parent, they left something to you. There's something in you that makes you uniquely special to carry this on. So I look at you, and I'm willing to give out as many hugs as we can because we weren't able to hug during the pandemic, because I cherish this opportunity to tell you how loved you are. And I was reflecting, sitting here as the rain was coming down. It almost felt like teardrops from heaven. Your loved ones knowing that the pain that you're in, and they want to save you from that because they're waiting for you. They're up there waiting for you. And now the rain is stopping, a symbol that you are loved. That's my message here today. I will continue to come, along with our Attorney General, Tish James, our other elected officials, because it's the least we can do. We'll take other actions. We certainly will. I signed 5 bills into law passed by our legislature just yesterday to make it easier to access the Victims' Compensation Fund, for by God, you should not have any hassles after all these years. We should remove all those barriers that have been in place. But today we just want to have that very human connection, that reminder that yes, above all else, we are Americans. We treasure this flag. We treasure the freedoms we hold dear, that those we sacrificed for on that day and those who went into battle afterward. For the name of the ferry that I just came over on was Staff Sergeant Michael Otis, a 24-year-old from Staten Island who lost his life after 2 tours of duty, one in Iraq and one in Afghanistan. And he threw himself on a grenade to save the lives of others. That is the Staten Island spirit that I know and I cherish. So you are never going to be, in my mind, the forgotten borough. You are the unforgettable borough because of the people who live here and the sacrifices that you've made in the past, are willing to make in the future. And I'm truly honored to represent you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor Hochul, and thanks for coming back every year. As we said before, you and the Attorney General